Hey guys. So, well, today what we're working on is we're gonna be building a goat pen because, well, Wiley wants goats, so we're gonna, help him with it. Yeah, it's all Wiley. I mean, Jen and I, we don't even like goats, but we're gonna help Wiley build his goat pen. They've already gotten started, so I better get over there and help.
All right. Here we are building a fence.
Right? All for Wiley's goat pen.
Right. We're just gonna commentary over this whole video.
Right. So you guys can kind of get an idea on what we were doing, and, well,
right.
It's kind of a little bit more fun to watch yourself work than actually do the work.
Right, exactly. This is much easier sitting here watching this.
And this is all on time lapse, so no, I do not move that fast.
The dogs look like they move fast too.
Right.
Michael and Wiley make such a good team.
Yeah, they do. They work really well together.
Yeah, they just get out there and they get it done. It's like they can read each other's minds or something.
Exactly. You can't do anything without those dogs, especially Lola, though. Right.
Lola's the supervisor.
Yes, she has to be on every project.
She's the little one, in case you don't know Lola. Bailey is the other dog. She's one of our livestock guardian dogs.
They're good dogs.
Yes. They've kept 2 roosters alive. I'm sure you'll see them in this video too. But our 2 livestock guardian dogs have kept 2 free-range roosters alive for close to a year.
Yeah.
Probably. They don't get put up at night. And we definitely have animals out here that are gonna eat them.
Oh yeah,
but
definitely.
They've done a really good job protecting them.
Yeah, they're really good at their jobs.
Yeah. So the amount of fencing we had pretty much determined the size of the goat pen. We used some old 2x4 wire fencing. I think it's about 4 foot tall, and that we had brought from our place in Oklahoma, and that's what we're using to put up around the goat pen.
Yeah, I'd say about 4 feet because you're only about a foot taller than the fence.
Short jokes. I am pretty short, y'all. I'm short and round. Amber's usually tall and skinny, but
yeah, I definitely not skinny
at the moment. Hunter come along and helped. Hunter is much better at Michael than driving a nail.
Yeah.
Michael can do a lot of things, but hitting a nail on the head
isn't his strongest suit there. He's much better at, the tractor.
Everything else.
But yeah, Hunter's definitely a lot better with a hammer.
We're using that crowbar to pry on the fencing to pull it tighter. That's Wiley's idea, because Wiley's a genius.
Right. Yeah, I'd like to say that, I helped out a whole bunch, but I don't really do much in the first part of the video here. All right. Well, got everybody trying to do something at once right here.
Right. Yep, see, we're just standing there watching the boys do it.
Right.
Because they insist on being men and doing it.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing.
It is not.
It's not a bad thing.
It is not. And I am not going to complain right now. I mean, look at that belly.
Right, I know. It's always hanging out the bottom of your shirt.
Right, I heard that black is supposed to be slimming, but I guess that doesn't work when you're pregnant.
Yeah, not quite as much as you'd want it to, I guess.
No.
Guess they're just chit-chatting.
Oh, Wiley's tying the fence to the tree right there.
Oh, right. So, we had cut the fence there because we thought about putting a gate there. And then we realized that there's just a little ways from that. There's 2 trees that are close together. And we decided to put the gate there instead. So, we cut it for no reason.
Yeah, that was kind of a pointless cut.
Yeah. We should have just kept going with it.
We do a couple pointless things throughout this video.
Yeah.
Didn't really get us anywhere, but, you know, trial and error.
That's what happens when you just fly by the seat of your pants and just kind of
right. You don't really
go with the flow.
Right. You don't start with a plan. You just kind of make it up
as you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we do everything.
That is exactly.
And it works really, really good. So. You almost turned your camera too far there.
Right. Almost.
Yeah.
Probably could have cut some of this part out. Don't really see much.
Yeah, too late now.
Right? I really don't feel like going back through and cutting more out. That was a lot of time that I had to work through.
Yeah, it was. There's still stuff happening.
Right?
You almost can't see that fence. At least not on this tiny screen.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple of times that it looks like we're just not, you know.
How's it look on a big screen, y'all? Let us know in the comments.
Right.
Okay, look, there's Lola.
Can you actually see the fence in the big screen, or is it invisible?
Lola's probably looking for me.
Hey, look, me, trying to pretend to do something.
Yeah.
I will stand here and hold this fence.
You're doing a good job standing around looking pretty.
Yeah. None of my shirts cover my belly anymore.
You're almost done. You're almost done.
Right? I'm getting closer.
I'm so looking forward to baby.
I am too. Me too.
We don't know what her name's going to be yet, but her nickname's going to be Fred.
Yes, that's for sure.
Thanks to Wiley.
Right? Baby Fred.
Yep. Hey, look, I'm doing something.
Right?
Kinda. I'm holding the fence.
You're making sure that it stays where Wiley needs it to stay.
Right.
While he does, you know, all the harder work.
It's hard to bend that stuff.
It is.
It's hard on your fingers. Wiley's just a lot tougher than me.
Right. Well, I think he has pliers in his hand, too.
He might. I don't know. But there was a lot of it he did with his bare hands, and he's so much tougher than me.
Yep. Dad used to do that all the time, and I'm like, ow!
That hurts. I was trying to do it with the wire, or with the pliers, and I was doing a good job, but Wiley could get, you know...
Yeah, he gets it done a lot quicker.
5 done in the time I get 1 done.
Yeah, a lot quicker.
You sure do show off your butt a lot in these time-lapse videos.
I know.
It's flat. Nobody wants to see it.
It doesn't even exist. It's thigh and back.
There's nothing even there to look at.
Mm-mm. Yep. I have never had a butt, that's for sure. I even did squats for a while.
No.
They don't work.
Whoa. That was weird.
Right, that was weird.
Look at us talking about doing stuff.
Right?
Well, Wiley and Michael are actually over there doing stuff.
Right? I'm sure that we were standing there talking crap on the guys.
Probably. If y'all haven't noticed yet, we sure like to talk trash around here.
It's how we show our love.
Yeah. Yep, I think that if we quit picking on each other, we'd have to wonder if that person still loved us or not.
Yeah, I know that I'd question it.
Be like, oh, why are they being not mean?
Right. Yeah, that's always something.
But y'all hear us laugh a lot in our videos, and that's why. It's because we know how to take a joke.
Yeah, definitely. It takes a lot to offend one of us, that's for sure. That's why I knew that, making Wiley's goat song was a good idea.
Oh, hey, speaking of that, you should insert that right here.
Right? Yeah. Let's go ahead and put that
if y'all
in.
haven't heard the goat song yet, it's pretty funny.
It's hilarious.
Well, my sister and I had a brilliant plan to bring some goats to this fine land, but we knew Wiley might not agree, so we hatched a plan. Just wait and see. We ain't the ones begging for a goat. Nope, not us. No, sir, no, no. It's Wiley's dream, clear as day. He's dreaming of goats, at least that's what we say. It ain't
song makes me laugh every time.
Right? No matter how many times I listen to it. I find it hilarious.
It's not the greatest song in music history, but it is funny.
Yeah, it's funny. It's just funny because, well, this whole time we, are convincing Wiley that it's actually his idea, not ours.
Right.
I mean, we had nothing to do with this.
So, in all transparency, here's how it went. I said, hey, Wiley, I think we should get goats. And he was like, okay.
I like goats.
I like goats.
So, here we are, getting goats.
Yeah, but we're blaming it on Wiley, just because that's fun to do.
Yeah. You can't let him feel too special.
Wiley's a tough guy that loves his little goats.
And his little dog.
And his little dog, yeah. What is it with guys and little dogs?
Right?
Like tough guys and little dogs.
I was going to say, and it's not usually like the, scrawny little guys. No, it's the big guys that like their dogs. Their little dogs.
Yeah. What's up with that?
I don't know. I never understood that.
Just gotta be some sort of psychology thing there.
Like Dad and his obsession with his little dogs.
I've known so many, tough guys with little dogs.
Yeah. Yeah,
oh, there's
crazy.
Jenkins. Speaking of dogs. I love Jenkins so much.
He is such a sweet boy. It's funny because he'll come up and he'll just paw at you to get your attention.
He puts his paw, I'm surprised he didn't stop and put his paw on Wiley's shoulder.
Right.
Like, hey, pet me.
Right. You need to stop what you're doing and pay attention to me now.
Yeah. So Wiley's building what he calls a cowboy gate. So he wraps the wire around that stick he has in his hand. And then the only thing we had was barbed wire, which we need to change because
we need some type of different wire for the latch.
That's not sharp.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of time before I cut myself.
But it works, so.
Yeah. So the idea is you put the bottom of the stick in a loop around the bottom of the post, and then you have a loop on the top of the post, and then you can just slide that over the top of the stick, and it actually works out really good. We've made gates like this quite a few times.
Right, yeah, it surprisingly works well, but like you said, the barbed wire idea, maybe that's him getting back at us. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. But also, I believe the goats we're getting are Nigerian dwarf. I don't know if they're 100% or not, but we don't really care too much about if they're full bred or anything like that, because we really just need them for clearing the land. Yeah. So, but I think it's hard to tell in pictures, but they're going to be little goats, and they're already trained to be in a fence, but the people who currently have them have an electric fence around them as well on the inside of the 2x4 fencing, and so we may need to get hot wire. We had all that in Oklahoma. The only problem is that in Oklahoma we had the 110 box thing, and now we would need a solar one because we're off grid. So
yeah, but we're hoping that what we build here is gonna work for them, because I mean, if they're the smaller ones, I think we got it good enough that maybe, right?
Yeah, maybe.
And as you can tell, Wiley has done all the work for this.
Yeah. Wiley and Michael. Like I said, they just make a great team. They just work very well together. So,
I mean, and this went up so quick compared to what we thought it was going to take. We thought it was going to take a lot longer.
Yeah. This is still the first day.
Yeah.
And we started at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, both days.
So it was, we probably spent a total of 8 hours building this whole pen and shed, or goat barn, whatever you want to call it. But this metal that we're using right here is actually metal that we took off of that building that we tore down. If you haven't seen those videos, you should go watch them. We dismantled a building.
Those are on Jennifer's channel at Our Mountain Home.
Oh, right. We tore down a building that was over 100 years old. And we
Yeah.
salvaged all the metal off of it.
Yeah, got a lot of metal off of it. With building this, we still have plenty of metal left to put a roof over their camp and my trailer once it gets moved.
Right.
So, there's a lot of metal.
We gotta try not to use it for too many projects.
Yeah, that's going to be the problem, is that we're going to want to use it for everything.
Right.
Everything.
And while we can use it for everything, we need to prioritize and make sure we use it for our roof first.
Yeah.
So, if you see us using metal in future projects...
Right? Remind us that we're supposed to be saving it.
Right.
Call us out on it.
Exactly. Exactly. Hey. The ground was so wet. It didn't take anything at all to dig those holes. And then as soon as you were, I mean...
Like, before he even put the post in the hole, it was already filled with water.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Wiley doesn't usually measure things or think about
No, that was Mikey. He was about the same thickness as the post right there.
Oh yeah, Michael's so skinny.
So you know, we knew that it was in the right spot because, well, Mikey was at that end.
Oh yeah, right. Well, I wish we had put the posts a little bit closer together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went with the length of the metal instead of thinking about the overhangs.
Yeah, we should have had some eaves, but Wiley came up with an idea for that. We'll have to show you that in a different video. It's not going to be the prettiest thing ever, but it'll do.
As long as it functions.
Yeah. So our goat barn is not square or plumb.
Right? Our dad would be proud.
It's just, you know, we actually had those trees that they cut up to make us posts. Those were on the ground in the goat pen. They just used the chainsaw and cut those off and dug a hole and buried them. And then we had a couple 2x4s laying on the sawmill and a couple 2x2s laying in the yard, and
Yep.
it was all stuff that we had just laying around. So it didn't cost us anything
Yeah.
to build this. Actually, we had the T-posts already. We had the fencing already.
Yeah.
We
literally had everything just laying around.
And when we tore that metal off, I picked up as many screws as I could find. So the screws didn't even cost us any money to put it all together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so this is a completely free project from things that have been salvaged or
Upcycled
or you know, made.
Yeah.
Like milled. So, but that's how it, you know, we think it should be done, is that you use things as much as you possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have to look, you know, pretty.
Yeah.
It just has to be functional.
We're not Instagram homesteaders.
Right?
We're YouTube homesteaders where you get to see real life.
Yeah.
Just in time lapse.
Yeah. Because if this wasn't in time lapse, it would be a very slow going process, guys. You have no clue how much time I had to cut out of us just standing around because we had to go find something, or we were waiting on somebody, or...
Right, exactly.
There is so much time that...
Or we had to readjust our plan as we went.
Yeah, you know, that... Yeah, so that's like the only time that you guys don't get to see is just the real boring parts of us just standing there.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow we always end up standing right in front of the camera. So it's always just like a row of butts.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, it is. So we probably could have had this done in half the time if we had taken time beforehand to gather materials.
Right? Or if Jen would have let me buy my, you know, that set of power tools I wanted that day at Lowe's.
Yeah, right. I know.
You know?
I know. Because we don't have any wireless saws, and instead of trying to, you know, get a power bank out there and stuff, which we're thankful for, but between finding tools and stuff, we end up just using the chainsaw as a saw to cut everything. Because we don't need it square or perfect or pretty. It just needs to work.
Yep. So we use, you know, what was the easiest to find.
And that was the chainsaw.
Yes. And that's only because it's still cold outside and Well, still gotta have firewood.
Yeah. I still can't believe how quick that went up.
I can't either. That was absolutely crazy. We probably could have finished it, you know, on the first day here if it wouldn't have started raining.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did start raining, and then we had to go pack up and go inside.
Yeah, something else you guys can't hear is the thunder that was starting to kick back up.
You can see the sky's kind of dark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Keep noticing in, you know, some of the videos it keeps getting darker. Like, or in the clips here, it'll keep getting darker in the sky there.
I'm glad you moved your camera around so that you could see from different angles.
I am too.
Because otherwise you wouldn't have been able to see anything we were doing right here.
No, you wouldn't have. No, I kept trying to remember to move it. I'm getting a little bit better.
Yeah. No, you're doing a lot better than me. It took me a long time to learn.
Well, the only reason I'm doing better than you is because, well, you're showing me how to do everything, so I don't have to learn it. You had to learn everything.
From scratch.
All right? Me, I have, like, you know, the YouTuber guide for dummies in a sister form.
Yeah. The good thing is I can, you know, make suggestions and you don't get all butthurt about it.
All right? No, I like the suggestions. Means a little less thought that I have to put into it.
Right.
Wiley's shaking the camera.
Yep.
And I know, guys, the walls move a lot, but once we put the roof on it,
It's better.
yeah, it stabilized it. And once the ground dries out, it'll hold those posts better.
It'll be solid. Before winter, we will probably reinforce the roof a little bit more. Right now, it'll shed water. I'm not confident that it would hold snow.
Yeah.
Because it's literally 2 2x2s running across holding the weight.
Yeah.
And then there's 3 2x4s up there. And that's it. So, yeah.
This is just a quick, rough draft.
Right. We'll improve it as we go. But also, we're going to build a wall across the front of it. So when winter comes, they will have a windbreak.
Yes.
The way that we built this shed, we built it to the lay of the land, really. We didn't have a plan as to where it was going to go or how it was going to face.
Right. You can't really tell, but there is a slight slope to the building. So we wanted, you know, the water to be able to run off the tiny little bit of slope that there is.
Right. And then, ooh, hey, we should put their water on the other side, and then they can mostly just have rainwater.
Right. That's a good idea.
That is a good idea.
It's a really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
See, talking out loud helps us come up with better ideas.
Exactly. But anyway, yeah, so we're going to put a wall on the front of it, too, so that they have a windbreak and can get inside and outside of the wind and out of the rain and be warm and dry.
Yeah.
My experience with goats, they do not like to get wet.
No, they really don't.
Like cows, they'll stand out in the rain. They don't care. Goats do not like to get wet.
Yeah, goats prefer to stay dry and preferably warmer.
Yeah. Michael and Wiley took over again.
Right. Absolutely nothing for us to do right now. Now they're just standing there talking. They always have more conversation when we're not around than when we are. Makes me wonder what they're saying about us.
Right. They're probably like, thank goodness they're gone.
Right? Now we can do it our way without them saying anything about it.
Right. When Wiley had come home after we had finished it, he said, y'all put a lot more thought into it than I was gonna.
Yeah. Yeah, because the second day, Wiley was working.
Right. So it was actually, this day was day one, and then the next day was very, very, very windy, and we were not going to try to put metal on that in the wind. Somebody would have gotten hurt. So.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because those are long, awkward pieces of metal.
Yes. And while they have some holes in them from screws, they're still going to blow away in the wind.
Uh-huh. Yeah, those holes aren't big enough to keep it from knocking you off your feet.
Wiley and I are pretty short, so I'm glad that we made the roof low enough to where we could reach it.
Yeah. Yep.
It's probably like a 7-foot tall roof, but that's okay with us. Yeah. Messed up your camera.
Right? You and Wiley both over there messing with my camera.
I was trying to get tools.
Yeah, this is about the time that it started raining on us.
Yeah. Yeah. So Wiley is getting this last piece of metal secured, and everybody else is off camera cleaning up tools and supplies, making sure that important things don't get rained on.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to leave, you know, all the power tools and everything else out in the rain that'd be ruined.
Yeah. The eave on this side isn't bad on that one piece that you see, but I think the building gets a little bit wider as it goes back, and so towards the back there's no eave at all once we finish it.
Yeah.
Look at Lily out there playing with her umbrella.
All right.
She was so funny. She was
pretending like she was being blown away, so she'd turn her umbrella inside out and hold it with this dramatic look on her face.
Oh yeah, she was like, look, we should do a photo shoot. She's like, and then you can, you know, like
Photoshop it and make it look like I'm floating through the trees, or
yeah, right, or I'm in the sky. And she had this like real kind of scared look on her face, like
like she was being blown away.
She's so funny.
Yeah.
And then she broke the umbrella, so there's not going to be a photo shoot.
Yeah, before she even got to do anything.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, day 2.
All right. Or 3, however you want to count
Day
that.
2 of actually working on it.
Right. So Michael thought it was a good idea to put all the metal up there exactly like he was going to need it. And I hadn't thought about it while he was doing it. But that roof isn't strong enough, or I'm not confident that it was strong enough to hold his weight. So he ends up having to readjust here after a little bit.
Yeah. Yep, but while we're waiting for him to do that, we start building stalls on the inside. All right.
I was like, we're just a couple shadows on the wall.
Right, there we are. Yep, that belly just keeps getting bigger day by day.
Yeah. What were we doing?
Trying to
plan our palette idea.
Yeah.
So
this is where I start bringing the pallets in for the goat pen idea.
Yeah. So we had a few pallets left over from our pallet shed build over our well house a couple months ago. And so we're going to be using those to build a couple birthing pins or birthing stalls. I don't know what they're called, but...
Right. Hopefully, you know, we don't have to use them for like an injured goat or anything, or a sick goat, but...
Right.
Figure we make the stalls for just in case there's babies or any other reason they might have to be separated.
Yep. And at first we're putting it on the back wall because Wiley and I had talked about that, doing one in each corner on the back like that. But being as the building is not plumb or square,
the back wall just wasn't going to work for us.
And the ground isn't flat. The lay of the land was working against us, so we had to change up our plan a couple different times until we got it right.
Right, but it's okay because we have Lola there to, supervise and make sure that we're doing it right.
Yeah, she's such a good supervisor. She's actually hanging out with us right now as we do this voiceover.
Right? She has to be part of everything. But yeah, here is where we realize that it's really not gonna work.
Right.
So
we were trying to attach it to the back wall, kind of where Amber's standing, and that back wall, as we were working with it, like we said, the holes were just filling up with water, and so that back wall kind of leans out a little bit, and we were not able to attach the pallet to the wall. We would have had to find extra wood, and we didn't want to have to do that, so we just changed our plan.
Yeah, it was much easier to just change our plan up a little bit instead of trying to find more stuff that, well, I didn't want to have to find.
I had to move my camera because I had it up there on top of the roof. I thought Michael was going to be up there working, and then he had walked off and was doing something else. I don't remember what he was doing, but
right.
We're attaching the pallets, which, if you've ever done that, it's kind of hard. You know what we're talking about, because you have to get your drill in at an angle, and it's sometimes hard to get the boards to line up.
Especially when a few of those pallets are kind of old, and so the wood cracks a lot easier than on the newer ones.
Right. That one we have there on the front end is a newer one.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's the only one like that.
Yeah, the other ones are pretty old. But here we are. We decide that we got to move it to this wall, to this outside wall here, the one that you guys are looking at.
Actually, I think we were piecing it together.
Emily just brought us food. That's right.
Oh, yeah. So you're just going to...
The kid fed us.
Yeah, we're going to pig out for a minute.
I cut most of it out.
Oh, okay.
Nobody needed to just wait for us to come out of there after feeding ourselves.
If anybody has anything about Amber's, or any questions about Amber's shirt, I'd like to point out that her channel name is Positively Obnoxious. So, it's a little bit of obnoxiousness with a smile.
Right. It's happy about it.
Mom.
All right, where were we?
I don't know. I know that we got fed.
Yeah. The hunter came and interrupted our voiceover, so now I forgot where we're at.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Amber's on the outside putting screws through, and I'm on the inside making sure that she hits the pallet.
Yeah, because, you have very small space to actually hit, and when you can't see it, it's kind of hard.
Right.
You can see the wall moving. She was double checking, making sure that I got it.
Yeah. Yanking on the pallet. Yep, it's attached.
Yeah, I should have moved my camera so you guys could have actually seen us in there putting it together more, but, too late for that.
Yeah. Hindsight's 20/20.
Right?
For once, Michael's just standing around not doing nothing.
Yeah, it's because I had the drill that he needed.
Oh,
I had the bit that he needed.
Oh, yeah, that's what that was.
Yeah, he couldn't screw down the roof because we both needed the metal screws.
This is where we realized that he was going to have to scoot all the pieces back because he actually he can't get on the roof to screw it all down. He had to do it piece by piece.
Oh, and you guys are lucky this doesn't have sound from that actual day, because let me tell you what, it was loud. Mikey scraping the metal together and then beating on it. Ugh.
It was unpleasant.
It was very unpleasant.
But we're thankful for Michael.
Very thankful. Very, very thankful.
I'm just glad y'all don't have to hear it.
Yeah. Yep. But, it's for goats, so.
Goats don't care. As long as they can get in there and stay warm and dry or be in the shade, they'll be happy.
Right. Here we are, screwing more pallets together. You just can't see it.
Right. And at least now you can kind of see Michael doing something up there, so it's not totally staring at nothing.
Right. Sorry if my butt crack shows at all, people. And nowadays, nothing wants to
Fit right.
fit or stay up where it's supposed to, or, you know, not ride up where it's not supposed to. But instead of having to take that part of, you know, apart, we
Yeah.
were able to just move it to this wall, and it actually lined up like perfect.
Yeah, I wasn't really concerned about it not being plumb or square until we put the roof on it. And then I realized how bad it was.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't really tell until
Because
the roof was involved, or trying to line up those pallets with a...
Because I'm pretty sure all of those pieces of metal that we used are square.
Right.
Because we took them off of a wall that appeared to be rectangle. So they're, you know, it's not like they were different sized cut pieces.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm pretty proud of how our little thingies turned out.
We ended up having to wait, like, we stood around pretty much for, I'd say, I don't know,
20 minutes.
20, 30 minutes waiting for Hunter to bring us the little
chainsaw.
Yeah, the little chainsaw so we could make cuts here. It was ridiculous.
And then, you know, Hunter's a 13-year-old boy, so he's like, I know, Mom. I know.
Right.
I know.
Because 13-year-old boys know everything.
Everything. And then, you know, I had told him, make sure you put the chain back on the right way. And he's like, I know how to do it, Mom. And then he brought it to us, and the chain was on backwards.
Yep. Yep. So, of course.
And then he's like, nuh-uh, I put it on there right. Well, then why doesn't it cut?
Right? It isn't doing anything.
What were you screwing on there?
I was finishing screwing the pallets together.
Oh, okay. Oh, yep. Here's where we had to switch the chainsaw blade.
The chain around because it was on backwards.
Yep. Lily's bringing us T-posts because we're working on an uneven ground and we need the T-posts to hold things where we want them to be. I don't know if you can hear it in the background of the voiceover, but sounds like one of the boys is down there sharpening the chainsaw now.
Right? It needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool little chainsaw, though.
Yeah. This is not a paid promotion.
Right?
But
it's a cool little chainsaw.
I never thought I'd like an electric chainsaw so much.
Right?
But that thing's perfect if you're just using it every now and then. I wouldn't recommend it for...
like, big projects. But,
or if you're doing firewood. I mean, a lot of firewood. Or,
yeah, but I mean, for doing what we're doing right here, I mean, it's super convenient.
If you're just looking for something, again, this is not a paid promotion. I just really like that saw.
Right.
If you're looking for, you know, if you just need to, like, limb up your trees in your backyard a couple times a year or something, then this is a really awesome saw.
Right. So if you guys are wondering what we're doing right there, we're making doors for the goat pins. Like,
yeah, and we're using a really dull knife to cut that ratchet strap because we don't have hinges, so we're using ratchet strap to make hinges.
Yeah.
I sent Lily to get a better knife. She brings one back in a minute, but by the time she brings it back, we're almost done cutting them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a 4-inch wide ratchet strap, and we just folded it in half and then screwed it onto the door and then onto the frame, and it made really good hinges.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely serves its purpose.
I can't say that I came up with this idea. I've seen Wiley do it before.
Right?
So it's Wiley's idea.
Right, but I think we did all right without, you know,
Yeah.
having Wiley there telling us how to do it.
I agree. Like I said, he told me that we put more thought into it than he would. Oop, I'm moving around.
It's kind of hard to get the camera in a good angle when it's a smaller space like this.
Right. And you need a better tripod because your feet are too narrow and you can't put it out in the wind.
Yeah. Yeah, the wind blows it around like crazy.
Blows it over.
Somebody walk by it too fast, it moves it.
Yeah.
See? And there it goes. Open, close, open, close.
Yep. So if you're wondering why it's just the gate's just hanging open, it's because we haven't secured it yet. We're not done yet.
Right? We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
You know, I still can't believe how quick it all came together, though.
Right.
Like,
seriously, probably less than 8 hours total working on that thing.
yeah.
The whole fenced-in area.
Yeah, the whole fenced-in area, the whole shed thing right there, everything.
We used as many trees and natural resources as we could. And everything else was upcycled.
Yeah. Something that we already had. Why not use it?
My favorite projects are the ones that don't cost us anything.
Right? Yeah. I love free things.
Yeah. So right here, we're trying to figure out where to put this T-post because we really need the wall to lean towards the back of the shed. So there's not a big gap between the gate and
the door.
And the door where it closes. But, yeah. It wasn't working out so good. And since the roof's only like 7 foot tall, probably, it's hard to get the T-post driver in there. So Michael brought in a big mallet and started
pounding
on it and pounded it into the ground.
Yeah, but we couldn't get that one quite in the right spot. I mean, we tried, but that one wouldn't quite go in the right spot. But I was thinking, you know, leave it in there so we can attach like a water or like a feeder to it.
In the future.
In the future,
yeah.
If we need the stalls.
I built a pallet fence around my garden in Oklahoma, and it looked nice.
I bet.
And it lasted, I mean, well, I don't know what it looks like now, but it didn't look bad when I moved.
Right? You know, it's amazing, like, what you can do with a pallet.
Mm-hmm.
Here Mikey is trying to pull that T-post out because, you know, it wasn't in the right spot.
But then we decided to just leave it alone and grab another T-post because we had plenty. So.
Yeah. It's easier to just grab another one than try to pull it out of the ground in such a small area.
Right. So now we're going to put it on the outside of it and drive it in and then attach it to the wood so it holds it where we want it.
Yeah. And Jen actually had a really good idea on how to attach it to the wood.
We'll show you that in just a second.
Right.
When we get to that point. I have good ideas sometimes.
Right?
Normally, I would just use a piece of, like, baling wire. I would just use a piece of baling wire to secure it to the T-post, but we didn't have any on hand, and I'm not crazy like Wiley. I wasn't trying to use barbed wire to do it.
Yeah.
So, I come up with another idea. Did we do it yet?
Not yet. Okay. Not yet. I'm trying to suck the gate and the door together right there.
Oh, right.
So that's when I made that latch for that door.
Which is just a piece of rope.
Yep.
Works out really good.
Some rope and a couple screws.
So we cut another piece of ratchet strap and we just put 4 screws in, 2 on each side of the T-post. And now the T-post is attached to the wood.
All right.
Voila.
And so now it can't move anywhere.
Yeah, now it stays where we need it. Now we have to do the same thing on the other side. Wish we would have.
It took us forever to get that.
Over.
Yeah, it took us forever to get that door lined up.
Right.
That gate lined up.
You can't see it, but we're driving another T-post in the end of it to hold
it
that
together
side where we need it. And our gate's a little bit off there. Our gate kind of hangs, but that's not really that big of a deal.
No.
As long as it closes and it keeps the goats in there or out of there.
Right, then that's all that matters.
Yeah.
It'll serve its purpose.
And this is just a rough draft, so later on we might need to adjust some things, but
reinforce it maybe somehow, or
add a second latch at the bottom. We don't know.
Right. But that's all stuff that I think will be easier for us to figure out once the goats are actually here.
This is the most prepared I've ever been for getting animals before I actually got the animal. That's something that Wiley and I decided we wanted to try to be better at, because our first time around homesteading in Oklahoma, we would get a wild hare and we'd go get goats or pigs or chickens or something and then not have anywhere to put them and then have to throw together something really quick. So now we're trying to build these things before we get the animals and see if that works out better.
We're hoping it does.
So this is the most prepared I've ever been to get an animal.
Yeah, usually it's I see one and I'm like, oh, I'm going to get it. And then I get it and I'm like, oh, wait, what am I going to do with it?
Yeah, what? Now I got to figure out something to do. But I'm so excited. And we will be getting some female goats. And I'm excited because they have been...
I cut that part out, but I guess not.
That's fine. I was told that all of the female goats are in with the boys, so they have been exposed.
They might already have babies.
Yep.
Here, Mikey is bringing over some hay for it. Gonna get it ready for with the hay. Interrupted again, and we were so close to being done with this.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's anybody that has made it this long watching this video, thank you so much. I mean, because this is a long one.
This is a long video.
This is a very long one. I mean, but,
I have a video coming out about the same project. It's from a little bit of a different perspective.
And it's not as long.
And it's not nearly as long, no. No. But if you want to see it from a different perspective.
Right? Go to Jen's channel.
Yeah.
Because,
Lily come along right here and said something really funny, but y'all can't hear it in this one. You'll have to go watch mine.
Yeah.
Lily's hilarious.
Yeah, she is.
That show, the kids say the darndest things. Lily should have been on it.
Yes. She would have made a great contestant for that.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you guys for sticking in here if you have. That is amazing.
I can't.
But we're just about done here. We're going to spread this hay around and then that is it.
I can't believe that was only 2 bales of hay that we put in there and it spread out that much.
I always forget how much it fluffs up once you take it out, or once you take the, baling string off of it.
So, on a positive note, we have 2 more bales of hay.
Right?
Ready to go.
Right? And we already have the goat feed, so
there
we go. All right, guys. Well, have a great day. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next.